Hey everybody, it's me, Josh Lewis, Psychic Medium, and I'm bringing you another video. I see that everyone is enjoying the new channel and all the new content, and thank you to all the new followers. It's awesome. Happy holidays to everyone. It's a great time of the year, a little stressful for some, and so I'm excited to bring you this video. This session is really interesting. Spirit shows that it's very unpredictable, and sometimes the information that comes in is kind of cryptic at times, and it's hard for us to understand. This is interesting. This woman wanted to speak to her loved one. She's asking for Michael, her husband. Now, I don't know any of this at first. As I've explained, when someone gets a reading, they only give me the loved one's name, and then I have to connect, and they can't give me any feedback for the first 10 minutes or so. But I'm not seeing Michael, her husband, who she's asking for. And I only see this younger man, and I can tell that it's not who she's asking for. And so it's interesting, and I feel that right away. But there's a reason for this, and you will find out in the session why the husband, who was coming through, but was showing me an image of their son first. So let's get right into it. So we are recording. Today's date is the 17th. The time is a little after 3:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm on with Kim. We're doing a session. I'm going to turn on my warm-up app while I get quiet and I start to focus. Okay, so that's running. I invite my guides to help. Michael, Chris, Brian, Patrick, Betsy. Sound off when you guys want. Here we go. I'm going to focus. Make my way over to the astral room. Okay, when you're ready.
Michael 1228.
You know, I don't know if this is Michael, and I'm going to tell you why. I don't know who this is, but before you even said a name, I saw this guy there, a little bit overweight or a little heavy set, a little stocky, and I felt like I saw some kind of dark brown or black hair, but it's kind of thinning, and I feel like it's it's not spiky or nothing. I don't know. I don't know if it's a shorter haircut, and I see some facial hair. Not very long, kind of about mine. I feel like I see a mustache and a goatee or something. So the reason I say this is because that's who was showing up even before, and I didn't even get the name yet. So it's either Michael or it's another family member or someone else that you know also coming through. I do not know yet, and I don't want you to tell me yet, Kim, or anything yet. Michael, I just had to say that because I don't know what that means yet. I can't tell who this is to you. Significant other or son. Feels like this person is younger than you, but I don't understand how much younger. Another minute, and then I'm going to just go to the voice and give you a voice. This is important that I try to connect in this way, even if I'm off some. I feel like, why am I not getting anything else on him? That just may be where I'm at right now. That's okay. It's not an exact science. Sometimes it's difficult. Let me check in with you on this. I don't want to waste any more time. I want to give him enough time to come to the box. But did any of that make any sense? Because it feels like it's off, and I didn't get anything too specific for some reason. It was either your husband or your son, and I felt like it could be your son, right off the bat, but I don't know if any of that makes sense.
The person you're describing doesn't really make sense.
That's what I thought.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. I do have a son, but he hasn't passed over. It kind of resembles.
So the person I was describing kind of resembles your son, who is not deceased.
Correct.
That's interesting. Why would I see your son who's still alive? Who is Michael to you?
My husband.
He was your husband. All right. So I'm going to have Kim ask you some questions. Kim, let's have you ask a first question.
Do you have a message for me about our son, Brandon?
You're asking if he has a message for Brandon, who is possibly who I was seeing?
Correct. Who
Okay.
was still alive, yes.
Who's still alive, right?
Yes.
Right. But is there a reason that you're asking that, or is it just because I saw him? Are you asking for something, for some other reason?
Because he has been going through a hard time.
Okay. So this is making sense now. Okay. So if Michael is really okay. All right. So maybe, Michael, that was your way of showing me that you wanted to mention Brandon, is his name?
Yes.
Brandon, that you wanted to mention Brandon. Maybe you had a message. If he is one of your children that's having a hard time right now, then he would take precedence over maybe anyone else as far as getting a message about. So just having me say it and showing me that vision, just getting me to say it, might be what you wanted to do. And not show yourself, but show your son in a way. What is this problem that he's having? Michael, I'm just trying to tune into that. Maybe you can show me a little bit more. I mean, a disassociation, there's some kind of, feels like there's a pulling away, a separation of some kind, like some kind of, he's having a difficulty with something else, but it almost feels like there's a pulling away of some kind. I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, I feel like is he like in his 30s? How old is Brandon?
He will be 40 next Sunday.
Okay, so he's turning 40, so he's still in his late 30s is what he is. Okay.
Right.
All right. And he is like a little bit stockier, maybe maybe I don't say overweight, but he's got a little bit of size to him.
Yes.
Shorter, spikier hair, kind of almost like a crew, like a cut, and then there is facial hair, huh?
Sometimes, I can't remember if he has it now, but sometimes he has a little facial hair.
And it's not a lot, right? It's like a little facial hair, and it's like just like a kind of goatee and a mustache sometimes, and then he'll shave that off, or what?
Yes, yes.
What's going on with Brandon, Michael? I don't feel like you did this as a coincidence. There's a reason. So there must be a reason that you really want to come through. And this is a great opportunity. What would you like to say? I mean, on your own, Michael, even whether it's about Brandon or about anything else that you want to say. I don't want to hinder you. What is it that you want to try and say right now? I something, like he's saying I something. Something came to me around the chest area, and that's where I went. How did Michael die?
He had osteosarcoma, which was bone. He ended up with bone tumors in his lungs.
So it was in the chest area.
Yes.
All right, Michael, we're going to go over to this box real quick, okay? I want to give you some questions over there because you might use it a little better. I don't know, okay? So just bear with me. Hold on, okay? It's like, yeah, something. He's acknowledging. I hear a yeah on that. Okay. What about Brandon? Anything else that you want to say to your son about your son? What's going on with him that you want to talk about or you want to share? What is the most important thing you want to say today, Michael? Is your son having issues with, like, I see a couple things. I see like there's a relationship or either a past relationship, something to do with a relationship that was difficult, but I feel like there's something to do with I don't want to, either alcohol or drugs or something is going on there that I'm confused about. It feels like there's like it feels like there's a pulling away. I feel like I saw some kind of failed relationship or failing relationship. I see some kind of increased drinking potentially, possibly something with narcotics. I feel like there's some anger going on. So it doesn't feel like it's a sickness or something else. I could be very, very off here, but as I'm tuning into Michael, that's what I'm feeling. Is any of that making sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Also, for the last 2 years, there's been a separation with his sister, and they were in a business together.
Okay, so that's where the separation is going. It's not a relationship with a significant other. It's more of an inner fight with him. And then I feel like there's an increased amount of consumption of something. So is that what's happening? Do you know if that's happening?
Well, he's very upset that his sister doesn't really want anything to do with him. And, yeah, I think, I think it has to do with drugs and alcohol. An increased amount of drugs and alcohol.
Okay, so this...
And, a little, I think he's really trying to get healthy.
He is?
His weight and stuff, yes.
Michael, I'm going to have to end this now. I went over a little bit more time than than I can, but I just wanted to give you plenty of opportunity. Is Brandon going to be okay? Do you know that? I mean, can you see anything that can help us understand more? Okay. Go ahead and just, thank him for coming through. Ask him if there's any additional thing that you want to ask him, but just tell him thank you and that you love him. Any, kind of final message through the box.
Thank you, Michael, for coming through and communicating with me and always being with me. And I always love you.
God bless you. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Okay. Well, I hope I gave him enough there. We definitely went a good amount on this, the warm-up, and down here. And then all I can do is intuitively tune in, and boy, it just seemed like that seemed to be the most important thing that he wanted to talk about. Like there wasn't anything else that was too pressing. Seemed like he was okay on the other side. He seemed like he was good. And it didn't feel like anyone else needed a message as badly or as much as maybe about Brandon. So I guess that's what that was, and that was confusing at first, but it started to make sense as you confirmed a little bit more. I'm going to shut off the camera here, stop the recording, hold on. So there it is. As you can see, it was an amazing session, and you can see why Michael wanted to show their son before he was showing himself. There was a message that he wanted to get across about their son that he's rightfully so worried about. And it all made sense as the reading went on. And of course, that's really what happens. I never can tell exactly what's going to happen, and every reading session is different, but yet equally amazing. So, hope you really enjoyed it. I'm going to continue to post a new video each week. I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. I'm sending love to you all, and I'll have another one after the holiday. Until next time, I love you all.